Hi, my name is Shin Uk Chan.
I'm Michelle Frisbee.
I'm James Grau.
I'm Kenton Anderson.
Today we're here to present our Rube Goldberg project. First of all, let me briefly introduce our logo. As you can see above, here is our logo. FCL stands for Fun Creative Learning, which will motivate students for their education. Here, those three balls. This represents a movement of ping pong ball we're going to use. And this is a gear which represents physical techniques such as motor, Arduino, ramp, and so on. Units, conductors, and volumes, those three are our educational achievements we are looking for students. Our potential, next slide please. Our potential goal is to create interactive student educational device. We want students to be part of activity, not only just learning, but also actually applying the concepts to the device. We have come up with two things for project planning. One is mission statement, and the other one is project management, which is essential to timely completion of the project, and it will be demonstrated by Gantt chart. Secondly, for the concept development, we gathered some customers' information and use cases in order to recognize the real customers' need. Then it will lead to target specification, which will be displayed on the QFD chart. Lastly, for this project to be succeed, there must be profit, which is evaluated in the economic analysis section. Specific content will be given by the rest of my teammates.
So we started out with planning, and we began our planning with identifying opportunities, and this mostly included comparing the ideas that we had to some of the benchmark ideas out there and some of the platform products that are already existing. We did this in a benchmark comparison table, and most of what we compared to were just games that had no educational value. The next thing we did is we each came up with our own set of ideas for the project, and we kind of decided which projects out of those were the best based off a few different things. Then after we did decide which ones were the best, we prioritized them and allocated resources based on that. At the end of our project planning, we ended up with a mission statement, which you can see here on the right. And our description was an educational training kit for aspiring engineers and scientists. And primary market went towards 8th graders. And we figured it would be bought by the teachers and potentially the students, and then maybe a secondary market would even be the parents of the students to be used out of the classroom. Lastly, we reflected on the mission statement to make sure it represented everything we were going for. Next slide. This is the S technology curve that shows, again, why we chose Project 1. As you can see, as time goes on, the performance for Project 1 is significantly better than that of Project 2 and Project 3.
We conducted customer interviews, compiled customer profiles and use cases to determine the primary market, which is 8th grade teachers for use in class. And then from the interviews, we got a bunch of customer statements and interpreted them into needs. Some of the most common needs are shown on this chart, and they include that the activity teaches and enforces important learning concepts, as well as is fun and engaging for the students. And then for the classroom, it's important that it is compact and doesn't take up much space and is inexpensive. So the deadline for our project is December 5th, and according to our Gantt chart, we should be finished by November 30th. This gives us a couple days, however, it means we can't go over the specified times for each task. It's been updated since this screenshot was last taken, and we've finished tasks 1 and 2, and we are currently on task 3 and almost finished, which means we are on track so far, and we'll be starting task 4 soon.
For product specifications, we established our product specifications based off our customer needs. which allows us to have specifications and parameters for the project that will most satisfy the customer. This is a screenshot of part of our QFD. It shows the relation of customer needs to product specifications, which is in this section here. 5 means that they are very closely related, whereas a 1 would mean they are not very closely related, and no number at all means they're not related whatsoever. Here you can see the importance of our customer needs. Our most important customer need is that the BRG enforces important learning topics. That's our most important because our main goal was to teach the students, and obviously we need to enforce learning concepts to teach them. Our second most important was that the BRG was inexpensive. That is because we had a cost leadership. We had a goal of having cost leadership, and so you could fulfill cost leadership by having the lowest price and having the cheapest BRG. For economic analysis, we determined our prices based off the manufacturing cost of the BRG itself, and then used the scenario 1 model, meaning that our price would not change as the number of units sold increased. This graph is a graph of profit and as compared to the revenue and the cost. So cost and revenue have a break-even point at 84 units sold, which is where profit will equal 0. And after that 84, profit will be positive and will continue to increase as more units are sold.
So in conclusion, we went with Project 1, which demonstrates the ideas of conductivity, unit conversions, and volume to 8th graders. The primary market is going to be 8th grade teachers and 8th grade students, and the secondary market is going to be the parents of the 8th grade students. In summary, the most challenging product specifications we ended up with and are dealing with currently is the number of parts, the price, and the assembly time. From the economic analysis, we chose type 1 with our pricing, which means that our profit should linearly follow our sales, and the sales and profit should both be able to go up indefinitely. And as far as plans for the future, we've only made 1 prototype so far, and it's a fairly rough prototype, so we'll most likely do a few more prototypes that are a little bit better quality, reflect on how well they do, and then create a final product for the BRG, and hopefully eventually sell that.